Hi traders, can I get sound test please? How are you all today? Good to see you here for the second time today. Okay, sound is good, perfect. Nice to see you all here. We traded today, hopefully you did well. I had a perfectly good trading day today. Hope you enjoyed. And now we're going to spend some time learning together. However, we are not going to talk about day trading. We are actually about to talk about swing trading. It's going to be quite rather quick, I believe. We're not going to talk much, but this is something that I believe every trader should do, every trader should know, and every trader should practice. And we are going to talk today about the 3x3 trading system and swing trading system, of course. And I do expect that you will do some swing trading alongside day trading. And the rest of the time, once we finish that, is going to be dedicated to day trading if you have any questions, or if you, of course, you have any questions about swing trading. So let us just start. Topic of the lesson today is the 3x3 system, swing system. And the basic idea as I want to talk about, is the fact that each and every one of you should be swing trading. Now, I know there's a lot of people who do not do swing trading at all, and that is wrong. A trader should not be just one-dimensional. You should be multi-dimensional, and that means if you're just buying and selling stocks intraday, that's good, that's nice, but that's just one-dimensional trader. You need to be doing much more than that. Swing trading is much easier than day trading. Swing trading can compensate you for losses that you have while day trading, because as you all know by now, day trading is a very complicated, very hard profession to survive with. Day trading is a profession that the majority, sadly, do not survive. However, swing trading is something that everybody can do and for lifetime. So even if you do not make it in day trading, you can definitely try swing trading. You can master swing trading, and you can do it very well and make a nice profit by swing trading stocks, since it's much easier. It's easier mentally, it's easier technically, it's easier by any means. So I would like to talk to you about today about how you should be doing the basic steps for swing trading. Now, if you have any questions, I will appreciate if you will add the Q mark so that I know that you're not just chatting among yourselves. So I will know that I need to refer to your question. And that would be important to me to notice that, because there's so many guys here in the trading room. So yeah, thank you, Peter. That's the way I would like you to ask. With day trading, you can make more money. Yes, you can make more money in day trading. It is my belief that you can make more money in day trading. That's my experience. But let me tell you this. I know a lot of people who are swing trading and are making more money in swing trading because their quantities are much larger than mine. My swing trading quantities is usually around 400 to 800 shares. Usually it will be around 400 shares. So really, compared to my day trading quantity, it's much smaller. The first question you probably want to ask me is why? I mean, why my quantities in swing trading are lower? Well, first, that doesn't have to be the answer I'm going to give you does not necessarily have to be something that you should practice. I don't trust the market. Okay, I don't trust the market. Exactly, the risk. I don't trust the market. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what Trump's going to say between today and tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen worldwide. I don't know which war is going to start tomorrow. So, in my opinion, going to sleep with stocks is very risky. Now, if you do that with a very small portion of your money, that is, in my opinion, fine. If your mental capability of taking risk is much greater than mine, then fine, go ahead, take larger quantity in swing trading. I appreciate people who can do that. I appreciate the fact that there's a lot of people who can actually go to sleep and feel safe with trading stocks overnight. Personally, I don't. Is that normal? I'm not sure it's normal. I'm just saying that I feel bad about taking stocks overnight. So if you can do that, if you can trust the market, and as I mentioned earlier, I don't, then go ahead, do that. So my swing quantities are relatively very small. It compensates my trading. It's a nice thing to do, and it's something that I think each and every one of you should do. Now I'll answer some of your questions later. I don't want to answer them all during my presentation, so keep on asking questions. I may answer them as the presentation goes along, but if not, I'll try and come back and answer your questions. So the basic idea of swing trading is, in my opinion, having a system. Well, firstly, you can't trade without a system. It's true for day trading, it's true for swing trading. You must have a system. And if you have a swing trading system in place, you can make money regularly. And that's why I want to talk to you about the 3x3 trading system, which is basically simple, but it can be a little bit more complicated. I'll go through some of the basic ideas. So, firstly, the 3x3 trading system, as every swing system, is based on daily candles. We are watching the candles, we're watching the daily chart of the stock that we would like to trade. And in this case, you're seeing here a stock that started somewhere around 35, 36 and moved all the way close to $40. So this stock is uptrending. Now we're looking to go, in this case, we are only looking to go long. That's naturally true because you know the way I trade. The way I trade intraday trading is always based, well, let me say 99% of my trades will probably be with the trend. So that's true for swing trading also. You watch the daily, you come to a decision that you want to long a stock based on the daily chart. So you look for a few basic parameters. We're not going to learn about technical analysis here in this session. We're just going to mention that you look for higher highs and higher lows, and you also look for nice technical formation. Now, is there a nice technical formation here? Absolutely, yes. Look at this amazing resistance point that we're seeing here at $39.70. So we're seeing a stock trending higher, looking great, having some difficulties moving over $39.70. Now, why does it have difficulties moving over $39.70, and what are we interested at? Well, I don't know. There must be a seller at $39.70. Now, who's the seller? Absolutely no idea. Is it institutional? Is it private seller? Usually it's institutional because they are 80% of the volume of the stocks that we're trading. Now it's a time to say that we never trade stocks that are lower than $10. That's true for swing trading too also, because stocks under $10 are not stocks being traded by institutional traders. Therefore, we're only trading stocks over $10 with more than 1 million shares a day. On average, in swing trading, I could sometimes trade stocks which have an average daily volume of around 700,000 shares or so, but I'm still looking for stocks that are the majority of the holders would be institutional traders. So these stocks are coming with a set of rules. Now, if you watch a stock that is trending higher, you go long. If you watch a stock that is trending lower, you go short. And that's the basic idea. So swing trading is right for long, is right for short. It's right for every direction you pick, as long as you're watching a stock that is trending higher based, again, on the daily chart. Is it only right to watch the daily chart? No, I also watch the weekly chart to find some kind of surprises. The daily makes the final word, gives a final word, but the weekly gives you some ideas. And sometimes you may look at the daily and then you look at the weekly and say, oh my God, I would not touch this one, for example. So there's different examples, but it's mainly based on the daily chart. That means that intraday movements are not as important as daily candles. So that means that we're watching the daily chart and making the decisions based mostly, not only, mostly upon the daily chart. So that's one of the reasons I do not like to see my swing trades in the same trading platform. That's one of the reasons I have a second trading platform that is the platform that I use for swing trading. I want to have it on a different platform, because if I use the same day trading platform, I would look at my swing trades in the same eyes that I look at my day trades, meaning intraday candles. And that's not the right thing to do. So I'm using a daily chart so I could, on a different platform, because I don't want my swing trades to be with my intraday trades at the same platform. That confuses me. Now you can do the same, you can handle it on the same platform. That depends on you personally. I prefer to have two different platforms for that. So now we're seeing a stock that has some resistance. And again, I don't know why the resistance is there, but there's something I do know. Whenever the stock is getting very close to 39.70, or actually exactly at 39.70, there's a big seller there. Why did this big seller decide to sell at 39.70? Well, obviously that was his target. Usually institutional traders sell at a target which is not the exact price. They don't have like 39.70 as the price, but they would have something that says, okay, we will sell in between this and that. And they need to use two very specific numbers. Why do they use two very specific numbers? It's because they don't sell it manually. They put the orders into the computers, and they say, and they tell the computer, please start selling at, let's say, 36, and that would be your bottom price, and up to whatever, 39.70. In this case, when we see that there's a very, very clear, and it's not always like this, you know, we're seeing some trades that look exactly like this, and these are the ones that you'll hear me saying during the day trading session, oh, this is looking like amazing. So there are plenty of those that would look exactly like that, 39.70, but that's the rarer occasion. It's not the common occasion. So that whoever it is, institutional trader that sells millions of shares, because that's the number of shares that they're selling, would have two orders. Maybe one of them is $36 and the other is $39.70, and the system will be managed in a way that is will sell in between these numbers. So I don't know which quantity at which number, but it depends on the volume, it depends on the stock behavior. The system is programmed in a way to sell it in between two numbers usually. So the top number in this case is quite easy to understand, the 39.70. So in between this number somebody is selling. Why? Who? What is the quantity? I have absolutely no idea. The only clue I get now is the fact that this stock stops exactly at 39.70, and not for once, several times. So that's a stock I would love to take for the long side if it moves over 39.70 cents. Now, why I need it to move over 39.70 cents? Because if it moves a cent over, that means to me that this programmed software that says, okay, sell in between, let's say 36 and 39.70 is out. Is it always true? No, but it is very, very likely that if the stock will move a cent over 39.70, it only means that this, whoever they are, this institutional trader, whoever he is, just stops selling. That's not always true, but it's true more than 60% of the time. And that's good enough for us traders to click the button and to go long a cent over the resistance point. Now, again, I'm not going to talk to you about technical analysis today, because again, you know, there's a technical analysis rule that you buy over a resistance, and this is a clear resistance, so you want to go long over 39.70. The question now is, what is your system? How do you do it? How do you manage your trade correctly in a way that is, of course, gonna bring you the biggest and best profits possible. So here's the 3x3 system. First, you go long over the resistance, and that's the stock that we were watching earlier. That's what happened once it crossed the 39.70, and this is not a surprise to me because we see a lot of these things happening. Of course, you never know how far it can go, and you never trust it, but you do know that once it crosses the 39.70, the forces that will lead it to move higher will be initially strong. Now look at the volume, the growing volume. And again, this is the basics of technical analysis. So the volume really was growing here, as you can see, once it moved over the resistance point, and once it did, it continued higher. And take a look at this area over here where it started resting for a little bit. This is something that you will see a lot of time. So usually the first move higher out of the resistance point is do not be surprised, is around 3%. But let's not talk about your target, let's talk about your stop loss. Your stop loss, in my opinion, and that is again the basics of the 3x3 system, is always 3%. Now is it, well, always? We can talk about sometimes where the 3% is not right. Okay, so it's not always really, because every stock has its own personality, let's call it this way. So every stock has its own, like, you know, when we're trading stocks like MU, AMAT, stocks like that, their personality is I mean, their personality is the personality that me as a trader I hate to trade. They are very unvolatile. I don't like trading these stocks because their volatility is very low. So in the case of, let's say, MU, you may find that the 2% stop is fine. But this is true for 70% of the stocks that we're trading. So that's quite a lot. Most of the stocks that we will be trading, and certainly the one that I pick on my swing trading weekly picks that you may see or not on YouTube, I'll talk about it later, will always be according to the 3x3 swing system. And that means that you will have to put your stop loss at the point of 3%. Now, the 3% is not accidental. The 3% is something that I was looking for and testing throughout many trading years. And let me just tell you this, if a stock does not go through, if it does go through resistance and moves up just a little bit, and then comes down to the point of 3%, where your stop loss, in my opinion, should be, well, at that point you should just realize that that's it. I mean, you failed, or I failed, whatever. If you took a stock that you expect that once it goes through resistance will continue moving higher and strongly, just like this one did, and in fact it moves slightly higher and then fails and moves by 3%, seriously, that's it. You probably need to understand that you're out of the game, that this stock that you picked is not going to make it. So don't consider having your stop loss lower than that. Usually there's no reason for that, because it's usually going to continue. When I say usually going to continue, it means more than 50% of the time. If it hits a 3% stop loss, it's probably going to continue. So there's no reason to do it more. And I tested that with many hundreds, I don't know if thousands, probably thousands of stocks that I've traded, swing traded, and I try to change the number, and I put them all in the computer and I try to change the numbers, and I'm telling you that 3% is the right point. Now, is it the only point you can consider? No, I would expect you as experienced traders, if you are, if not, use the 3%, to look at previous support and resistance. So if you're seeing here support at 2.5%, you can certainly put your stop loss at 2.5 or 2.6. So if you are, again, experienced, you can change it. I do it myself. I don't always use the 3x3. I test my success and my success rate based on the 3%, but sometimes based on previous support, I will change it. I will change it according to the way the stock behaves. I try not to post this kind of stocks. I try not to post them online, because I'm always going by the 3x3 swing system when I'm checking my results. But I will definitely recommend that if you know better than just the very clear-cut 3x3, and you can find a very clear support, you can use a different number. But let's go through the basic rules here. So the first rule is have a 3% stop loss. The second rule, as you might have already guessed, is the 3% target. So my first target is 3%, and again, this is something that I checked throughout the years. Usually, you will see the stock that is breaking out resistance, pausing at around 3%. Sometimes pausing at around 3% means it's going to pause here, come down, and may become a loser. Sometimes means like this one continuing to go higher forever, whatever. So 3% is where usually you would see a lot of the stocks that I will swing trade pause. There's a lot of reasons for that. One of the reasons is that big buyers usually for some reason, take profits at around 3%. So that usually creates some kind of a pause. Stock will usually stop there, and that would be the place where I would personally take my first profit. Now, can you change that based on, again, previous support and resistance? Of course you can, but I believe, in my opinion, that the 3% target is okay. And again, based on my experience, that is the place where I think you should do it. Now, people often ask me, why do I take partials at all? Well, partials is something that I personally do. And again, one more thing, excuse me. I always take 3/4 partial. So there's another 3 coming in here. So the 3/3 gets a little bit more support for the 3s here. So there's another. At the point of the 3%, I will sell 3/4. And again, there's a lot of people who are asking me, why do you take 3/4? Why wouldn't you take just, let's say, half? Well, you can take half. I personally take 3 because of my inner demons. I don't know about your demons. My demons is the one that is sitting on my right shoulder and telling me, do you remember the last time that you were up 3% and then you waited a little bit too long and then the stock came down, and instead of having a fine winner, you're having now a big loser? Well, yes, I do remember that. And there's the other demon sitting on my left shoulder, and this guy saying, well, do you remember the last time that you were up 3%, you sold 3/4 or whatever, and then the stock continued moving up like another 10%? Yes, I remember that case too. So in order to let them go, I actually tell the one who's sitting on my right shoulder, you say it's going to come down. Okay, here's your 3/4, leave me alone. The one here that says it's going to continue, okay, you've got 1/4 now, let's go ahead. I mean, prove yourself. So I'm getting rid of the demons. You know, traders, when we're trading, it doesn't matter if you're day trading or swing trading, one of the most important things, of course, is to get rid of your demons. If you are fighting all the time, if you have some psychology issues, then that war turns into a losing game. And you need to get away of your fears and of your greed. Once you sell 3/4, you get rid of both. You get rid of your fear, you get rid of your greed. Because just quarter size is not enough for having too much greed. Selling 3/4 mean you're not going to have a loser. You're just not going to have a loser. So the next rule is, as you just sold 3/4 at a 3% profit, your stop loss, which was earlier at 3%, now moves up to your entry point. Meaning, if the last quarter is going to come down to your entry point, you still have in your pocket the profit of the 3/4. The profit you may have had from holding to the last quarter is now gone, but you never take out what you put in your pocket. That's another very important part of taking a partial. That means I put something in my pocket. Once I put something in a pocket, a very important rule in day trading or swing trading is I never take it out. That means whatever I put in my pocket, I try, I don't always succeed, I try not to take out. So the last quarter may continue moving higher, and I would have what I would call in my swing trades a free trade. And all of my swing trading stocks are free trades once I got my my 3/4 partial, because I only have 1/4 left, and it's riding, and I can never lose money. Well, of course I can. For example, if I get a huge gap down. But that's one good reason to have the 3/4 partial too. For example, if a stock is getting to your target, assuming you had the chance to sell 3/4, and let's say it continued moving higher, and all of a sudden gaps down by 9%. Now, why did I say 9%? Because 9%, first, it's a huge gap. Second, if you made a 3% profit on 3/4, if I'm not mistaken, mathematically, if I'm not mistaken, if it comes down by 9%, nothing happened. 9% under your entry point, so you're still at zero. So even a big gap couldn't take me out of the game. And sometimes, yeah, you may have a big gap while you're still in the stock, and you didn't get your 3% partial. That's one good reason not to get into swing trades before, or at least one day before announcements. So if you have quarterly announcement, check out, let's say in, whatever website. I usually use Yahoo Finance. Check out that you don't have earning announcements in the next few days. You can check it out very easily, and then just don't trade the stock, or trade it and move out before the day of the announcement. That's also very, very important. And so you don't take any unnecessary risk. That depends, again, on your strategy, the way that you're trading. So what happens to the last quarter? The last quarter's target is usually, in my case, anywhere between 6 to 12%. And that depends on a lot of variations. What the market's doing. Is the market's uptrending? Is the stock looking good? Again, support, resistance, a lot of different other things that you can definitely use if you're a little bit experienced. And that is something that is quite easy to manage the last quarter, because again, you just can't lose money with the last quarter size. So again, that's a very, very simple way of trading. And if you take a look at what happened in the last 9 years, actually, let's take a look at the S&P daily. Look at the S&P daily. Now, we're seeing the market moving higher. That's the last year, of course. I can show you the last 9 years, and that's like, oh my God, look at that. The market's trending higher, and that's not even 9 years. The market's trending higher like crazy. Just look at the last 6 months or more than that. So when the market's trending higher the way it is, and you're concentrating on stocks that are trending higher too, and I can definitely talk about some of the trades that I took recently, like WB. I posted this one, last week or the week before? I think week before. WB. So WB, as you can see here, is trending higher. If you look at the weekly, it certainly is trending higher for the last few years. So if you pick a stock that is trending higher and comes with a nice technical formation, that was the place where I took it last week. Yes, it was last week. That was the place where I took it last week for a swing trade. I posted this swing trade, on my weekly swing review. If you're not familiar with that, I'll talk about it soon. So there's a nice combination here of a stock that is trending higher, a very nice technical formation. You see that there's the cup and the small handle here. And once the stock moved to a new high, it moved over 7%. So over 7%, that's enough for my 3% partial. Stop remains at the last quarter at the entry point, and now you've got yourself a free trade. So you see it continued moving higher, pulled back, didn't get to the entry price, because if it would touch the entry price, that would mean the last quarter would have been out. It's not, and hopefully it will continue moving higher forever. I'm not going to stay forever, because I'll put my money back on something that would look even better than that. So once I reach more than, I'm looking for 12% approximately in this trade. Once I reach approximately 12%, and again, that depends on the market, what the market is going to do and so on, then I will be satisfied with WB. I'm not yet satisfied with WB. So 3 quarters are out, 1 quarter remains. And again, if you take a look at the S&P 500, it's trending higher. If you look at the S&P, and again, if the S&P moves higher and the stock that you're taking for a swing trade is trending higher too, so both are, I mean, the S&P is certainly helping your stocks, and you have a stock that comes with a nice technical formation like WB. And let me go back to my slides. And you always have a 3% stop loss, and you always have a 3% target. I want you to think about this 3x3 system, and please, please, please tell me, how is it possible? Is it in any way possible that if you will take the next 100 trades, I'm not talking about the next 5, if you will take the next 10 trades, 20 trades, 50 trades, 100 trades, is it in any way possible that you will lose money? In my opinion, absolutely not. Is it complicated as day trading and requires a lot of attention and a lot of knowledge? No. Is it simple to do? Yes. Is there any way you can lose money if you follow the trend of the market as long as the market is trending? No. There is no way that you can take this system and you can lose money. There's just no way. So I'm getting back to that system, and I'm getting back to the basic idea of swing trading. Guys, it's not easy to succeed in day trading. It's much, much easier to succeed in swing trading. And the 3x3 system is going to help you tremendously. It's a simple system to use. It's a simple system to follow, and you can really do very, very well. Let me show you just one last thing. These are the results for 2016, because I did not make my results for 17 yet. These are my swing results for 2016. Now, you know what? Before I show you the end number, the end result here, you may already know that if you're trading with me, I want to take you to just for a short visit to my YouTube channel. So if you're not familiar much with my YouTube channel, there's where I post my swing picks every week. So you're gonna have every week a swing pick video which looks like that. You see, that's my market weekly review for December 24th, so that's just yesterday. And I used and at that one I used in order to, sorry, each and every review like that comes with 2 stocks, and I'm posting my stocks, my 2 weekly picks on this market review. It comes with a market review and 2 weekly picks, and I always discuss the entry points and the exit points, meaning if we lost money last week, if we gained money last week, it's always discussed. As you know, transparency is the most important part in our trading room, and it goes for swing trading as well. So if you're not watching this, just sign up for our channel. I'll post the link here for the YouTube channel. Here it is. So just sign up for this channel. And just, you know, if you're on YouTube, if you're going to see this in YouTube, you can click on the sign up channel and you can do that. So here's the swing results. And these are all done only by the first 3 quarters. I did not manage here, just because it's a bit complicated for me to do that. I did not manage the last quarter. So it's only the first 3 quarters, which means the results were much better than what you're about to see. So as you can see here, that means that there was a loser here in ITC. These are winners, the green ones. The red ones are losers. And there's again, if I go back on this, you will see that there were 63 trades at that year. That was 2016. Success rate was 66.7%. We had 42 winners, 21 losers, 63 trades, and an annual gain of 63%. The market did in that year 9.5%. So it's certainly much, much better than what the market did. And 2017 swing picks are going to be coming soon. So again, having a very solid swing system is something that I think each and every one of you should have. Again, you should have a system that is working for years and keep on developing it. It not necessarily has to be the exact thing that as I just described. You can make it better. You can make it the right system for you. You can change it in a way that you will adapt it to your needs. Does it have to be exactly 3/4? No. Does it have to be exactly 3%? Not exactly. Do you always have to take the stocks that are as volatile volatile enough or for 3%, or you can take more volatile stock or less volatile stock? You can do whatever you like. Just start with a 3x3 and then adapt it to your needs. But the 3x3 really works very, very nice, and I believe that you should follow it. Any questions? I'll read your questions right now and I'll answer them. So just at the same time, you can read the summary. The basic idea again is to set your stop loss at 3%, your first 3/4 partial at 3%, raise your stop to the entry level, sell the remaining at 12. I usually do it anywhere between 6 to 12, and improve the system by adding technical rules where applicable. And yes, you need a system. Just one last thing, and I'm not going to get into details here, but you know I use the Colmex trading platform, and with the Colmex trading platform, you can actually, let's say you're going long 400 shares, whatever stock it's going to be, this time it's the S&P, you can use the implement range, meaning you can use an order to go with a stop limit order. So you can have an order to go long at a price, which means over this or that price, which is like in my swing pick, and that could be done pre-market. You can use the stop price as the entry price, the limit price over here, the target price if you go long here at the high range, the stop loss price, the 3% here, use the implement range button here and click buy if you go long. So that will automate everything, and that means that the only thing you need to do is spend like 10 minutes, 1 hour a week swing trading, 1 hour a week swing trading. Use an automated order to go long, use an automated order to go short, but you can use an automatic order with a 3% target, 3% stop loss, then come and change it. Maybe you can change it for, before it gets to the 3%, sell only 300 out of 400, or use two different orders, one with 300 shares, one with 100 shares, one without with 3% stop loss only, and one without a target. You can do that all automated. And again, you only need approximately 1 hour a week. So please swing trade. I'm getting back to your questions now. Let's go to the first ones. Wow, there's many of them. Okay. How to estimate if the target 3% or more possible in this stock I want to trade? Are there some signals to look for? Most possibly. As I mentioned earlier, Theodore, you need to look for the stock itself. Yes, that's technical analysis. Just look at technical analysis. And I'm not going to get into technical analysis here, but certainly it's just technical analysis. Yes, you can look for better and clearer results. For swing trading, Peter asked, for swing trading, you also check the miracle ball, or how you called the S&P 500 movements. Yes, as I mentioned, you are based on the daily of the S&P, Peter. However, that was a good question actually, and I didn't mention that. You can make this swing trading system much better. As I mentioned, you can use automated orders. And I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to use automated orders. But if you want to get a little bit more sophisticated, look for your swing trades intraday and look at the swing trade and say, okay, this one just went through my target. That's the entry price, but the market is crashing now. I'm not going to buy it because the market is crashing now. Now it's going to be quite rare that your swing trade is going to move over your target when the market's moving down, but you can in fact use intraday information in order to make a decision. I personally do that. I do not show my results based on that, because if I'll show my results based on that, and I will say in the next week report, I will say, well, I didn't get to that trade because it was a loser, but I didn't get to it because the market at that time was moving moving down. Well, if I would say that online in YouTube, it's not going to end up with a smile. So the thing is, I'm always managing my picks exactly according to the 3x3. That's how I will measure my success and my failure rate. But sometimes I personally do something which is a little bit different, and you can do that too based on intraday moving. I certainly do that. How many cents do you go? Blazon asks, how many cents do you go over the resistance? 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent over the resistance. You buy 1 cent over the resistance. Guys, that's the basics of day trading and swing trading. You always buy 1 cent over. Don't try to watch the stock and say, well, prove to me, okay, you just went over 1 cent over the resistance. Well, can you please do another 3 cents? And I promise I'm going to buy you. Well, you just moved 3 cents over the resistance. Well, you know what? Let's show another 5 cents. Just, convince me I'm right. You are never convinced, and you will never be convinced. Never wait. Always buy exactly 1 cent higher. That's the difference between a professional trader and a novice trader. Harris asks, Meir, what's your regular swing trading share size? I mentioned that earlier, Harris. That is anywhere between 400 to 800, but it depends on the stock. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Sorry, website, do you check announcements? Yes, I do check announcements. As I mentioned earlier, I go to Yahoo Finance. Meir, can you explain the rule number 3 once more? I'm not sure I understand which one now, Steve. If I didn't answer, please ask it again. Trade ask, in the daily report PDF that I get in the mail, is there a New York swing strategy? Is that same? Well, okay. Trade, the New York swing strategy is based on Shlomo's system. So Shlomo Cooper is the one who's managing the New York swing strategy. You can follow his way of swing trading, which is fine. And again, that's just another swing trading system. And that's, again, fine. Lola, what is your daily report PDF? Never received this one. It comes with the daily email that you're supposed to be receiving from us. I'm not sure it comes with the PDF though. But if you do not get it, please email your account manager, and you're supposed to be getting the daily email and a weekly email. Sean asks, I would like to learn how to use, but again, as I mentioned, you can go to my YouTube channel, and there's a video coming up, and it comes up on Facebook and everywhere. So I would like to learn how to use range option to the trade window. Oh, okay, Sean, that's what I was just explaining here. That was the range order. I didn't go into details, I know, but I think you'll find a video explaining that on my YouTube channel. You certainly should. And if not, we'll do that in the training room. Thank you, Cesario. Harris, what's your regular swing share? I answered that. What platform broker do you use for swing trading? I use the same platform, Boris. I use the Colmex platform. It's very, for me, it's very, I think for swing trading, I think it's the best platform for day trading, but it's also great for swing trading, especially because of this implement range button that you're seeing here. And again, I can use a stop limit order, and that means I can automate everything. I can watch a stock and say, okay, if it moves over this limit, I want to buy, but not more than, that would be the stop limit order, stop price here, limit here. The target price would be here if you go long. Stop price would be here. That would be my perfect solution. You can use this order to place, you can place orders pre-market. You cannot trade pre-market, but you can place the order at pre-market time. And that means that you don't need to spend your time waiting for the stock to trigger if you're just too busy and you do not want to spend that time intraday. Did I miss any of your questions? So just cut and paste them again so I can just go through them. I think I may have missed some, right? Okay, let me see if I missed anything. I'm not sure. Okay, Michael asks, if support is say 350, how far below the whole or $half mark should I set a stop loss? Exactly 350. I usually set it like 3 cents below. Yeah, like 347. That would be where I would set it, Michael. Depends, but usually I would use anywhere between 1 to 3 cents. Lola, Meir, can we replay this webinar? Yes, this webinar. Sorry, I forgot to record it. I did record it. Well, actually, no, I did not forget to record it. I did record it for YouTube purposes, and I didn't know exactly when I'm going to edit this video, and if at all I'm going to edit this video. Now, since I forgot to record it to the trading room, I guess I don't have a choice. Okay, so yes, it is recorded and it's going to be playing. I think I may put it on YouTube or something. I think I will. I don't have a choice now, do I? Do shorts in swing trading have a time limit? Okay, time limit. That's also important, Boris. Time limit. Okay, let's say a stock does not trigger. What is my time limit? Usually that would be worst case scenario. I mean, I don't know if it's worst or best. I wouldn't, usually I would not take there for more than 2 weeks. So if a stock does not trigger in 2 weeks, again, I'm reminding you, I'm looking at the daily chart. If it does not trigger in 2 weeks, I'm out. Now, what happened if it triggered and I'm out, meaning I'm not going to take the trade. Usually, if it doesn't trigger by 2 weeks. Now, but that is something personal you have to decide. You can decide yourself. Myself, usually I don't. But what happened if the stock did trigger and I'm into a trade and the trade does not get to my target? That's another good question. I don't know if that was your question, but if that wasn't, I'll answer it anyway. If the stock triggered and you're on the way to your target, but you did not reach your target, usually I would move out by the end of the week. I do not like to go to sleep overnight at the weekend with a stock that did not reach my target. If it reached my target, fine. If it did not reach my target, I don't care if it's a small gain or a small loss. Certainly did not reach 3% target or 3% stop loss, somewhere in between profit to loss. I don't care where it is. I do not hold on to the stock over the weekend. Personally, I don't, but that has to do with you. My thoughts about using options: you can definitely use options for swing trading, but there's, you lose 5 cents in, 5 cents out. I don't usually do that, Andrew. And if you have enough buying power, please don't do it yourself. But you can. Do short swing trading have a time limit, like time restriction, shorting? No. Well, no, depending. Oh, maybe I now understand your question. Sorry. I think your question was different. About shorts. Sorry, I didn't answer that, Boris. Okay. Some brokers may limit you. The one I'm using Colmex, no limits. But some brokers may limit you. Check with your broker. Some brokers may limit you they have some shorting restrictions. Our limit range orders will execute at the pre-market. No, it will not execute at the pre-market. Absolutely not. Blazon, it will only execute at real market time. At real market time, not at pre-market or aftermarket. Could you please explain how to read the level 2 time says? We can do that. Certainly we can do a mentorship session about that. I will do, Cornelius. So just for swing entry on Monday. I enter on Monday and exit on Friday. No, if I did not reach my target, yes, I usually do that. I also do more than that, Blazon. For example, let's say the stock did not reach my target. Let's say it reached 2.5%. Would I go to sleep with 2.5% over the weekend without taking a partial. That would be stupid. That would be stupid. I don't do that. I would take my partial at 2.5%. I wouldn't go through a long weekend, and a long weekend means a lot of news. You never know what's coming up at the weekend. So the longer the period between your trade and the next trading day, the more bad news could come, or good news. But I'm afraid of the bad news, of course. So I would take my partial. You would sometimes see me, it happened last week. It certainly happened last week. You would see me talking about a swing trade that moved up by 2.7%. Really, you will find a swing trade that moved up by 2.7%, and I said, no, I did not take my partial. No, I'm waiting for next week. Maybe it's going to reach my partial next week or not. I do not have a winner. And sometimes it comes down and you have a loser. But no, I certainly did take my partial. That's just that I did not say that in my swing report. Why? Because again, people would look at it as if I was maybe trying to cheat, because I always mention that I'm trading according to the 3x3 rule, and I'm trying to at least report my trades according to the book. And yes, if it moves up by 2.7%, not reaching my 3% target, and the weekend is closed, certainly they take your partial. But I'm still going to manage my trades in YouTube based on that. Mike, you didn't use question mark, so I didn't see your question. But GE, I'm not going to get into specific trades right now, and still need to answer some questions about the system here. Will it show? And again, if you didn't use the question mark, I'm sorry, I just didn't see your questions, so you can keep on asking them. I'm still here. Will you show the active orders in order windows if you want to cancel after a week or so? Will it show? Yes, the active orders will be there. You can definitely use that orders to cancel them or to edit them or whatever. Do you recommend a breakout? You want to buy breakouts, say 351, or buy a dip near support 330 and then wait, hopefully to cross 350? No, I don't do this kind of thing. Certainly not with $3 stocks. I would not buy dips on swing trading. No, Michael. I use very specific technical analysis rules, usually breakouts or breakdowns. Yes, Chazaria, I'm using some rules, but I'm certainly am bending the rules. I don't think that a trader should be very, very solid with the rules. There is a big amount of artistic part of trading, and that applies for swing trading too, not only day trading. But again, if I'm talking about my swing trades, I'll always talk about the 3% target. Now I'm going back to see if I missed any of your questions. Marvin, I see you ask a question without a Q mark. What is the price jump at stop loss? Will you lose money? What if the price jumps at your stop loss? Okay, I would definitely use hard stops with my swing trades. So if the price jumps to my stop loss, I will be out. I use hard stops. If I'm watching, Marvin, if I'm watching live my stock getting close to the stop loss, I will cancel my hard stop. If that is the case, if there is a case where I'm live watching my swing trade right now and it comes close to my stop loss, I will cancel my stop loss and manage it manually. But since most of my swing trades are based on automated orders, stop loss orders, then yes, I will move out. It's not like my day trading. And of course, you have quite a lot of error, because you move into a trade and you have a 3% target, a 3% stop loss. So you can allow, in that case, use a hard stop. And yes, if it moves quickly to that point, I'll be out with a loss. And sometimes it happens, but with 3% is not as it does not happen as often as it happens in intraday when you have like a 20-cent move. Armando, I see you ask a question without a Q. I'm trying to answer that. Where do you find a stock of trader to stock to trader to momentum during the yeah, I use the top 20, but that's for intraday trading and try to concentrate on swing trading here. What is the leverage on swing trading? Well, that has to do with your broker, Harris. With Colmex, I can tell you it's the same as almost every other broker. It's 2 to 1, which means if you have $10,000 in your account, you can trade with 20. If you're trading with the funded accounts program, then you have 20%, meaning if you have a $240,000 account, it works a little bit different in that case. You can use 20% of that to swing trade, which I think is right. I don't think you should use more than that. Armando, you ask another question here, I see. What do you use to find the stock to trader for momentum during... Oh, we talked about that, yeah. If I missed any of your questions, again, sorry, it's a little bit hard for me to go back. Please just, please just rewrite them. Okay. Laksham, you have a question. Is it safe to swing trade with a fund account? Sure, it is, and I think you should do it. But don't go over 20%. Don't go over 20%. If you won't go over 20%, it would be safe as long as you don't go over 20%. Don't go over 20% of your account. That's it. And that should be safe. And of course, start with small numbers. What percent of portfolio you recommend should be swing versus day trading? Well, that's a hard question, Arvind. I personally, as I mentioned, trade, let's say, anywhere between 400 to 800 shares, but that's a very small percentage of my account. So I don't know. I have to come out with an answer to that. I didn't think about that. Do you use earnings into swing plays? No, I don't use earnings. I try to not to take swing trades into earnings. So that's the way I use them. I use earnings. I use earnings knowledge not in order not to take swing plays, unless I already came to my 3% partial. If I took my 3% partial, I may take the last quarter to the earning reports, but I don't know if I'm going to take it if it's only up 3%. Maybe I took a 3% partial, the stock is already up by 8%, then maybe I'll take it. If not, I probably won't. If price comes to the hard stop during pre or after market, no, you don't get executed, and no, you do not make your decision according to pre-market or after market. How do you scan select stocks for swing trading? I can tell you, but I'll have to kill you afterwards, Belazen. Any scanner to... Yeah, I use Finviz. The fact is, we use Finviz. Let me write down www. That's the one we use. Now, when I say we use, let me tell you this. You know what? Let me tell you a secret. Do you guys like secrets? About 50% of my swing trades are not ones that I choose. Actually, I choose them all. But the basic search results are being done by some of my colleagues. So I have some people in TradeNet who are searching for swing trades. One of them, you know him, is Shlomo. I'm getting every week the results of a few swing trades, usually around 10 to 20. I add 1 or 2 of my own, and then from the whole 20 swings that I see, I go through each and every one of them and I pick them. Now they all come from, most of them come from Finviz results, and the way to use Finviz is not very complicated. Again, it's based on a lot of things, but there's a lot of different parameters that we're using there, and I'm just not going to go through it right now, or anytime actually. If you were To plan to buy breakouts at 10:01. Okay. Would it be better use stop or stop limit? Certainly stop limit order. Certainly. We're talking about swing trading now, right? Certainly stop limit order. You never know what's coming in real time, so definitely stop limit order. And that depends, and the limit will be dependent, Michael, on the volatility of the stock. So again, the personality of the stock that you're trading. No, you can't go below 5% of your account, Marvin, but you can definitely take 20% of your account size in order to swing trade. Yes, that's a stop loss. Thank you, David, for answering that. Once your swing trade is triggered, how long on average days do you complete it? Usually, Steve, if I'm not mistaken, that would be like 2 or 3 days until you get to your swing target, which is 3%. Just 2, 3, 4 days. And one more thing, you just reminded me. Let's say you have a swing trade executed on Friday. Would you go long on Friday? Usually I tell you no. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that. If you'll hear my swing report the next few days, you will hear me saying yes, it's a valid trade, because it is a valid trade. But if you ask me the way I behave, the way I trade, I wouldn't take, for example, a swing trade on Friday, because usually the chance for me to get a partial on Friday is very, very low, so I may get to my target on Monday, but then again, I'll have to go with a full size over the weekend, and I hate that. Use Finivis every day. Good. It's a very nice platform. If you read your contract that you sign, if you say more than 20% of your account equity, they can close your account. That's true. They can. They never do that, David. But they can. Can you please share the well, they never did it till now. I don't know what's next. Can you please share the search criteria? Based on the thing is with search criteria is that there's many search criteria there. So we use several swing criteria, several swing researchers, and they're all different. Out of each and every one, you can get 10, 20 stocks, and until I get 10 to 20, but the guys who are working on the 10 to 20 usually go through hundreds, probably 200. Not now with trailing stop. I mean, it's not something that we'll talk about today. Do you look at the chart before deciding to go long short on the entry point? No, I do not. I do not. Unless I'm open with a stock and watching it intraday, and then it's just, unless for some reason, and I don't usually, because usually, as I mentioned, I have automated order for swing trading. But if I do watch it, if I'm in front of my screen and I'm only there for 1.5 hours, I usually come back later, but it's not that I'm always watching it once it's triggering. So usually I don't. If I'm swing trading, I see those trades in my commerce platform because I have one account. Are you not seeing them? No, I'm seeing them on a different platform. Yes, I'm using a different account to add, exactly. Second account, like I have a second account with money deposited and so on. For new traders, should we divide our time between swing trading? Yes, you should. 1-2 hours swing trading per week? Yes, you should. Do you say swing trading is less risky? Absolutely less risky. Yes, Lola, absolutely. I would definitely say that, especially if you're busy, doesn't matter what you're doing, you have your own job. Let's say, for the sake of argument, whatever it is, you work for a company, and you don't have enough time, or and and you just can't day trade every day, or you practice yoga every day, and whatever you do, and you don't have enough time for day trading, then just, you know, use the 1 or 2 hour every week to swing trading, and that definitely will pay out. Maybe I missed that, but if you take 20% of your account to swing trade, 20% based on the package pay. Oh, come on, that's too complicated for me. Come on, Greg. Mathematics at this time of the day after a trading day. Seriously, whoa, I'm sweating. Let me try and read it again. If you take 20% of your account to swing trading, okay. Is it 20% based on the package paid or the level? Oh, for example, per package account. Oh, well, that's mathematics. Greg, come on, not today. Sorry. How do you use hard stop, or is the wait? Is that a trade window sitting? Mervin, well, you need to know how to use a hard stop, but we can't go through that right now. Well, UPO, you never swing trade the UPO. UPO is a crazy thing to trade. You don't swing trade that. Guys, I think we should call it a day. Thank you very much for being here with me today, and hope that was interesting. And if you have any more questions, maybe keep them to the next time that we meet on the mentoring session, or whenever on the trading room or something like that, or ask the other mentors. I'm sure you're gonna get some answer. I hope that swing trading idea just, you know, is something that you will consider. I think you should. I think everybody should swing trade. I think that compensates for a lot of losses that you may have in day trading, because there's a lot of people who are trying to survive day trading, because certainly I believe day trading is better than swing trading, but swing trading is, again, as I mentioned earlier, simpler, more straightforward, easier to do, and if you happen to not to be successful in day trading, you should definitely consider swing trading anyway, not only if you're day trading. I mean, do both, just don't be one-dimensional traders. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and see you next time.